Good morning, everyone. My name is Professor Ahmed Bachar from MK University of Biskra. My talk will be about the invisible bridge, leveraging contrastive rhetoric and AI for coherent paragraph construction among Algerian EFL students. I would like to express my appreciation to the presidents of the conference, Dr. Belkhir and Dr. Zikri, and all the organizers for having me in the first online international conference on second language writing, February 11th, 12th, 2026. I hope my humble contribution will add to the field of second and or foreign language writing. It is aspired that this contribution will bridge the rhetorical gap between tertiary EFL students' native thought patterns and English academic expectations, using AI as a springboard. Introduction. Writing is a foundational skill both within and beyond the classroom. Among the four core language skills, writing often exerts the most significant pressure on both teachers and students. EFL learners must survive not only the technicalities of the language, such as spelling and punctuation, but also the complexities of rhetorical devices and style. Furthermore, interference from L1 cultural norms can often hinder effective L2 writing. In light of technological advancement, AI can serve as a vital pedagogical tool to help EFL learners overcome these challenges. This presentation reports on a small scale experimental study aimed at empowering students to produce effective paragraphs. Statement of the problem. A significant challenge in the development of L2 literacy is that many FL students fail to discriminate between the conventions of informal communication and the rigorous requirements of an academic assignment. Consequently, a monolithic style, tone, and diction often run throughout the written production in a blatant disregard of the intended audience or context. By generalizing the casual register of everyday speech, or of social media for that matter, to scholarly tasks, these learners inadvertently obscure their arguments and diminish the perceived authority of the work. To bridge this gap, instructional focus must shift toward register, structure, and intended audience awareness, helping students understand that academic writing is not merely about compiling information, but about adopting a specialized linguistic and rhetorical identity that signals intellectual rigor and objectivity. AI, with its limitless combinations, can be judiciously implemented to bridge that gap. EFL writing goals. The primary concern of writing in EFL classes is to navigate the complexities and challenges of rigorous inquiry in pursuit of ultimate truth, thereby providing an authentic contribution to human understanding. By going beyond mere reporting of bare facts, scholarly discourse is expected to engage in a meticulous synthesis of evidence and theory to uncover the underlying principles of reality. This pursuit functions as a pivotal bridge between individual research and collective knowledge, ensuring that each contribution serves to refine, challenge, or expand the intellectual foundations of society. Rhe- Rhetoric and contrastive rhetoric. Rhetoric might be understood as the art and science of effective communication. Its ultimate goal is to impact an audience in some way. Contrastive rhetoric, CR, recognizes that communication is culture laden. In other terms, the local culture defines how thoughts are expressed. in a second or foreign language. Different cultures have different thought patterns that influence writing organization. The logic expressed through the organization of written text is culture specific. That is, it posits speakers of two different languages will organize the same reality in different ways, according to Kaplan. Contrastive rhetoric and L2 learner. According to Kaplan, this filtering of text logic through language is largely unconscious. That is, learners of an L2 are not aware of the way in which their L1 influences the way they organize the text logic, or what he calls propositional relationship, or what is commonly known as coherence. Two, L2 learners are not aware of the way in which an L2 organizes text logic. And three, L2 learners are not aware that there is a difference. In other words, second or foreign language learners subconsciously trans L1 communication norms into L2. Consequently, the written production sounds awkward to a native speaker's ear. Culture bound writing patterns. As you can see, the English style is linear. The Arabic style is zigzags. The Oriental or Chinese is cyclical. The Romance style has detours. The Russian looks like the Romance, but with little consistency. Now, features of EFL writing. So, tone, formal and biased, focuses on data and the process. The structure it's highly structured, follows a set of fixed steps. Vocabulary, precise and technical, uses standard jargon, and claims are evidential, grounded reference sources. Now, the exposition of Arabic and English style. Arabic. At the sentence level, continuous, barely punctuated spoken Arabic flow, logic, double headed thesis, two topics are tackled simultaneously. Rhetoric, peritaksis, coordination of equal weight statements. On the other hand, the English style is at the level, sentence level, controlled flow through punctuation, logic, single headed, deductive, claim, argument, inclusion, rhetoric, hypotaxis, subordination to showcase hierarchy. Research methodology now and design. This study, which was undertaken from October 15th to December 15th, 2025, employed a quasi-experimental one-group pre-test post-test design. An intact group of EFL learners, number 32, was utilized due to the pedagogical constraints of the existing academic schedule, which precluded random assignment. To mitigate threats to internal validity, a detailed diagnostic pretest was administered to establish a performance baseline across four distinct uh, linguistic and rhetorical categories before the implementation of the Kaplan theory based writing program. Pedagogical and methodological proceedings. Following the collection of paragraphs from third year students, the researcher conducted a qualitative analysis to identify recurrent rhetorical inconsistencies. Based on these findings, a targeted pedagogical treatment was developed. A representative sample was then processed using AI to model alternative structures. Finally, both the instructor and the student evaluated the results, identifying key linguistic shifts across four specific categories: mechanics of writing deficiencies, morphosyntactical deficiencies, diction and word choice deficiencies, organization structure deficiencies. Here are the time allocated to each category deficiency. 2 weeks for each, 6 hours were allotted to deal with those deficiencies. Now, quantitative list of writing defects or deficiencies. Writing mechanics, I have counted 45. Morphosyntactical deficiencies, 103. Diction or word choice deficiencies, 60. Structure organization, 162. 162. This Pareto chart shows that organization or paragraph structure scored high. That means there were defects Sorry for the inconvenience. The second part of this presentation shows a Pareto chart in which the blue column of the organization or paragraph structure uh, proves that the paragraph writing defects are higher and mechanics of writing are uh, the lowest. Now, in the pretest and versus post-test data, you can see that the figures, the data speak for themselves, that the treatment was beneficial to my student. Writing mechanics deficiencies dropped to 29 from 45 to 29. Morphosyntactical deficiencies dropped from 103 72. Diction or word choice deficiencies dropped from 60 to 34. Structure or organizational deficiencies from 162 to 88. Writing deficiencies, descriptive statistics table. I'm going to just to focus on the mean average per category. The pretest sum of defects were or was um, 92.50. In the post-test sum of defects 55.75, and the improvement is by 36.75. Now the standard deviation in the pretest was 52.45. In the post-test dropped 28.83, and the improvement is 25.68. So the variability is or has significantly been reduced thanks to this uh, treatment. The frequency of pre-test versus post-test writing. The blue columns, which represent the pre-test uh, deficiencies, are much higher than those red columns, which represent the post-test, which proves that the treatment was beneficial to the students' writing skills. This ogive clearly shows that there is a drop, a significant drop in producing deficiencies as far as mechanics are concerned, mechanics of writing are concerned, morphological, morphosyntactical deficiencies, diction, word choice, or structure. The ogive makes it clear enough to conclude that the program or this crash course was beneficial. Let me now interpret the results in the pretest. In the pretest, the massive gap between structure errors and mechanics errors suggested that students had a blind spot. They might have known the words diction, but did not know how to arrange them. Structure. In the protest, sorry, the post test, the program leveled the playing field by addressing the most important structure. The AI-assisted Kaplan program brought the students' organizational skills closer in line with their linguistic skills, leading to a more balanced, standardized writing profile. When the EFL students focused on the higher order concerns, HOC, like paragraph unity and coherence, lower order concerns, LOCs, such as indentation, punctuation, spelling, often improve as a byproduct of a greater overall. However, because the intervention was rhetorically focused, the structural gains outpaced the mechanics. The findings indicate a marked shift from nonlinear to linear rhetorical organization. The substantial reduction in structure deficiency, 74 points, suggests that the explicit visualization of English rhetorical patterns, central to history, served as an effective pedagogical scaffold. Furthermore, the narrowing of the standard deviation suggests that the intervention specifically targeted the rhetorical dissonance previously experienced by the learner, leading to a more harmonized distribution of writing competence. Therefore, if AI is judiciously implemented in writing classes, EFL students will have a unique opportunity to enhance their writing uh, in general and paragraph writing in particular. Conclusion. This study utilized a targeted pedagogical trick where AI was employed to rewrite student-generated paragraphs for contrast analysis. By reviewing these AI refined versions, third year EFL students developed height awareness culture rhetoric. The findings suggest that a prior lack of writing opportunity and instructive feedback, rather than a lack of ability, had prevented students from producing the linear spectrum favored in Anglo American academic discipline. This crash course facilitated transition from an indigenous associative oracle toolbox to an L2 hierarchical. Consequently, students have started consciously recognize the factors that weaken their prose, ultimately realizing that effective writing depends on organizing thoughts with enough clarity to dispel overlap and ambiguity. Final comment. I have a quiet hope that Kaplan's analysis of Arabic writing style is not to be perceived as a stigma. For that particular reason, this presentation did not critique Robert Kaplan's scientific contrastive rhetoric, specifically the parallel zigzag model of Arabic writing. It actually confirmed some of his. I believe that as an Arab scholar, it's incumbent upon me to put forward a clarification. These rhetorical patterns are not inherent cultural traits, but rather artifacts of a specific pedagogical history. I contend that the stylistic preferences in modern Arabic writing are rooted in preservationist educational following centuries of cultural, including Mongol invasions. During these periods of instability, Arabic education transitioned from the generative expansion of knowledge to a custodial model centered on the memorization of the Quran, Hadith, and classical poetry. Ladies and gentlemen of the audience, I'm done. Thank you for your attention, and I hope contribution has added something to your understanding of rhetorical, contrastive rhetoric, AI, and the Algerian context. Thank you again for your and patience.